Hello and welcome to another episode of the Electric Norwegian. Now, this is a special day. I've had the car for a month and a half, give or take, and today it's gonna pass through 50,000 kilometers. So I thought I will take you through what's happened to the car since I bought it, how the experience has been, and how its potential is as a used car. Because let's face it, that's what it is, and it has now accumulated quite a bit of kilometers. This is a 2019 Tesla Model 3 long range. I think I was ordered in late, I don't know, mid March, and picked up. I should have gotten the date down, and I haven't. I think around mid to last half of April last year. For those of you who've been following me a while, you know this car has been on quite a few journeys. It's been down to France, and it's been to the north, and been to the western countries and back home again this summer. Last summer it was down through Germany, France, and then Belgium, and back home again. So that's 50,000 kilometers in a year and a half. Is quite a lot of driving. Now, it was a lot more driving last year than this year, because not so much because of the pandemic, more that I've just been more conscious of how much I use the car, and then try to level it out a little bit. You might ask why, what's the point? Because a car is after all meant to be driven, and that is absolutely correct. It's partly insurance, really, and partly the fact that, but at some point I might sell it, and I want some warranty left on it. I mean, you never know. But as you can see, the interior has kept up quite nice. You started off owning the car, washing the seats very often, and now I don't really wash them that often. I do give them a going over every now and then, mind you. I think they still keep up very well. It's been kids and stuff in the car, and it's kept up. There's a few small marks. I think it's from the seat belt and the back seat. I can't seem to get rid of, and that's apparently a known issue. I think I've heard a few others having the same problem, but it's not something you would really go looking, unless you go looking for it. It doesn't bother anyone. This car has not had any paint protection film or anything like that on it. It's only been ceramically coated, so has the seats. Yeah, it's got a few scuffs and scrapes. Someone backed into me the other day. Nothing much, just a minor damage to the paint. Nothing physical. So I'm gonna fix that. It's not gonna be a big problem. There was very, very low speed. So when you can say, why haven't you used the 40 and PPFing the car? Because partly I don't have that money lying around just throwing at the car, and secondly, PPF doesn't solve all the world's problems, and if you're careful, using a few $100 every now and then on micro paint can mostly fix up the damages anyway. That's at least my take on it, and then you can shout on me in the comments, that's fine. But all in all, the car looks pretty well. Not any damages or anything like that. There's a panel in the back door that has a bit of a tear on it. Can't tell you how that came about, but you know, worst case, you change the panel, take the cost for that. Other than normal wear and tear marks on the car you have to expect, there's been a few service visits, 3 of them from a Ranger. That was moisture in one of the fog lights, changed with no problems. And then we have what else was it? I don't remember details. And had one service that was a brake. They just went over the brakes and they changed the cabin air filter, and that's it. I've literally had, other than filling up the windshield washer fluid and looking after the brakes, I've had nothing on this car. Zero. Nada. Next year I will need new tires, so that's gonna be not cheap. But hey, it's a sports saloon car. You don't run cheap tires on this car unless you want to kill yourself. That's my opinion anyway. It never leaves you stranded. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. But it does have things that some newer cars does not have. It has the baggage hooks, for instance, in the front. New cars don't have that. I don't think you can even get them in brand new cars because they're changing the frunk. And I think that's a sad thing because I love them. Yes, the frunk is filled up with, but that's why you have a frunk. That's also why you have a well in the back. You can fill it with all sorts of crap. And it doesn't really take up any space in the sense that you still have more than enough. The entire car is basically cargo space because you have space down here, you have space down here, you have a phone holder, you have your door pockets, you have your well, you have your front, you have a huge, massive amount of storage space in this car. And the car, some cars, after they get released, some of them quicker than others, feels a bit old. The infotainment system can look dated, you can miss out on functionality, you know, blah blah blah. This car doesn't do that. Through the over-the-air updates, it has gotten just better and better, and of course they haven't been able to fix the wind noise or the tire noise, but you know, that's fine. It's there now. The tires are worn, so it's probably getting worse. But it doesn't really bother me that much. Yes, I want them to put double glazing in the cars, as they probably will do at some point. But you know, you have to live with it. Is a BMW better sound insulated? Yes, of course it is. Is a Kia e-Niro? No, it's the same. It's probably worse. But on the technology side, this car, it's gotten more backup cameras with those two. It's gotten Sentry mode. It's gotten what is probably one of the best voice control systems in the business, and just on and on and on. You know, for free over-the-air updates. It's got more power, for crying out loud, twice. I mean, it's just fantastic. No one else does this. And I know I keep shooting the car down for having crap steering feel, and compared to the Jag and the Porsche, it does. But it still doesn't stop you enjoying it on a twist and turn a bit like this, because it is truly magnificent. It really is. And speaking of storage, now I recently tested the ID3, and I mentioned to the salesman that sad thing, it doesn't have a frunk. And then he said, why would you need a frunk? Because no one has ever used one unless you run a Porsche, a 911 or something similar. You always use the trunk in the back. And I was thinking, yeah, I was saying, yeah, well, yeah, but it's a plus, you know, it's more. So it's not a bad thing. And he didn't seem to understand my point, and he was just banging on about why that was needed. And I was thinking, holy Jesus, you really don't understand. I mean, it's like saying, why do you need 4 wheels on a car? Well, you don't. But, you know, it's nice. Sometimes, at least. And, yeah. It just... And the salesperson who gave me the idea, he was so proud because they had 4G connection and an app and cruise control, and you get the car updated itself and all that. And I was thinking like, dude, Tesla's been doing that crap for 10 years. Like, you know, well, almost 10 years, 8. Welcome to the party. What's the big thing? But yeah, I mean, no, but I'm not crapping on the ID3. It's a very, very decent car. It's actually one of the better ones out there as a package. And I really like the ID3. It's really, really well done. It's not perfect, of course not. Perfect car still isn't built. So this car has now given me very little issues, and I must say I love it. I still think it looks great. It looks like a little bit like a duck in some angles, and it's not. I can understand why some people think it's strange looking. Yeah, it has its good and bad angles, like most cars does. But the updates keep the car literally up to date. The phone key never given me any problem whatsoever, except for a few times. It never really lets you down. You just keep the phone. The whole concept of a key is really getting slightly frustrating, because you get so used to just, and everything goes wirelessly, either over the internet or the Wi-Fi or the you know, Bluetooth, all local communications, phone and key happens locally, so you don't really ever worry or think of it. It just works, except for a few times you have to take the phone out and just open it or unlock it, as it were. But that's very seldom. And now it's even easier to borrow the car to a friend or something, because you can go into your Tesla account online and you can make digital car keys. You can, and they get a mail and they can download the app and stuff. It worked just fine. I did that. I rented the car out for a day and made a virtual key for him. And he was, because then you get the whole Tesla experience. You get the owner experience. You don't get this quasi experience with plastic card, which is it's a backup. That's what it is. It is a backup. Almost there now. Well, as a backup, you know, it works just fine, but it's never meant to be anything else. It's never meant to be a primary way of getting into and out of the car. So, am I a happy owner? Yes. Would I recommend anyone to buy a Model 3? Yes. Would I recommend them to buy a used one? Definitely. This has been the most flawless car I've ever owned. I'm aware of that most things I've owned have been old pieces of junk. Mostly just, you know, stuff. I'm aware of that. So you, but still, you know, it is now done 50,000 kilometers. What little has been of problems have been cosmetic. They've been taken care of immediately. Service have been very good. I have nothing to complain of, really. I know there are some people who have been unlucky and have gotten really bad cars, and that's a sad thing. And I know people also have met service people at Tesla that really haven't done their job at all, and that's also very sad, and I'm sorry to hear that, and that shouldn't happen at all. And I do hope Tesla can train their personnel better, because people have to be met with respect. If there is an issue, fix it. You know, don't be difficult, just fix it. Like I had this plastic clip in the door, a few months back. They fixed it, no problem. Fixed the car, got the car out again. You know, no worries, no questions. That's good service. Good service is very simple, really. So get your act together, Tesla. Train your people properly. So there it is then. 50,000 kilometers said and done for. Now, let's give you a bit of scenery, shall we? It's beautiful around Norway this time of year after all. My face, you've seen that plenty. Well, I met these two guys trying a Porsche Taycan today, a 4S. And they were car guys, so we spoke car and Porsches and petrol and all kinds of stuff. And he loved that machine. As he said, I don't need all this range, but it's fun to have it. And the car is a driver's, you know, it's a proper driver's tool, that Taycan after all. And the Model 3, if you can't aspire to a Taycan, I mean, people, then this really isn't a bad option either. It really isn't. People complain, some people complain about the interior quality of it. I think most of the materials you touch normally is soft touch. After all, they're either leather or vegan leather, or they are soft touch materials of some sort. Yes, you have hard plastics here, but you have hard plastics everywhere. Yes, you have the mega trend of the car building world right now, which is glossy plastics, but you have that everywhere as well. The Porsche, Mercedes, Audi, you name it. You know, it's apparently been the rave for the last 5 years. It's awful, I know, but there you have it. Do I regret not owning the Ioniq? Sometimes when I look at the power usage, but most of the time, no. I really love my Model 3, and I can warmly recommend it to anybody who wants an electric car. No one does the electric car transition easier than the Tesla. No one. It tells you where to stop, when to stop. It has the biggest charge network and all that jazz. Does it matter? It actually does. Does it stop you from buying anything else? No, and it shouldn't. But would I get rid of the Tesla and buy something else? No, not really. Not right now anyway. And I can't really see what that should be, because I'm happy with this thing, and until Tesla brings out the $25,000 car, which I actually do consider buying, because I don't really need this big car, even if it's not very big, and I would like to have a smaller car with the same range and the same amenities that the $25,000 car probably can offer. And go down to Berlin maybe and pick it up. Yeah, I would love to do that. That would be fantastic. But for now, I'm gonna enjoy my Tesla in the beautiful autumn day that this is after all. So I hope I've covered everything. If it's anything I missed, I haven't mentioned winter and consumption, because you have all this. Yes, in the winter sometimes consumption can be an issue, but it's not very often. And unless you travel a lot, then maybe you should buy more less. You know, it's not an issue. It's not a problem. The car charges so quickly that, as I mentioned in my traveling videos as well, you never really think of it. The heater is brilliant. Yes, it should have had a heat pump. It will probably get one eventually, you know, but until then, this will do just fine, thank you very much. Now, thank you for watching. Do share, comment, do please subscribe, and I will see you in another video. Take care, bye bye.